to our new series, Living Life, with real people and real stories. This series is a window into the human experience. It's about where we've been more recently, where we are today, but also, and most importantly, where we're going. This is an opportunity for us all to step back, to reassess and redefine how well-being shows up in our lives each and every day. So I hope that you can sit back, you can listen, learn, and connect. I met Chelle back in 2019 at a Pavelka retreat. Now, when I met her, she was not too happy about where she was at in her life. She was isolating. She had a lot of strength. She had a lot of magic going on underneath the surface. She wasn't ready to share it with the world. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was something else. But I'll tell you this, since then, she has done an absolutely incredible job.
I think I had set this target, or I had this idea in my mind, Jessie, that I was somehow gonna deadlift 150 kg.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was so determined, and up until that point, it's like I probably got to like 130.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of sort of setbacks, like with COVID and everything else. And then I got back up to 120, and then the gym shut down, and then I got back up to 130. And then what happened over here was they said, okay, well, the gyms are going to close again, because we had like a little bit of an up and down with COVID over here. So I said to my trainer, who's just so brilliant.
Yeah.
I said to my trainer, I was like, look, this 150 is going to happen before these gyms, like this 150 is going to happen before the end of 2020, because if it doesn't happen, like I just get feelings about things, and I knew if I didn't do it then, I had a feeling like I wasn't going to ever do it.
Yeah. So you're looking at over 300 pounds of deadlift, which is incredible. So
Thank
just
you.
for those that don't understand how to convert, that's a lot of weight. So I just wanted to add that context.
Yeah. But the thing is, Jessie, I didn't actually like just hit the 150. I hit the 150, and then my trainer says to me, do you want to add a little bit more? So I've now got a personal best of 160.
Let's zoom in on that really quick. So, it's one thing to achieve a goal. There's something about, when it comes to something physical, like a marathon or what you've achieved that has a different flavor to it. What was it for you?
My trainer could tell you, when I first started in the gym, I was in that zone. I'm not a gym person. I can't be in the gym with all these people, and there's kind of this zone where all the weights are, and there's hardly any women there, if any, and then everybody's like on the treadmills, and they're all so fit, and you feel really self-conscious, and you feel really just like you're in a space where you don't belong. It's kind of like almost imposter. You feel like an imposter a little bit, So for a long time, I was kind of denying it, and I was like, I'm not going to be a gym person. I'm not going to be a gym person. And I just developed this real deep love for this sledgehammer at my gym. Sledgehammer and a tire, and that's all I really need, to be honest. And I realized it was more than just a working out thing. It became, it's part of my routine. It's part of my feel good thing, the endorphins I get from it. And then especially on the days where I don't want to go, I always feel so much better if I go. And I know I'm going to feel that way afterwards, even though a lot of the time, especially in the winter, it took so much effort to get up and actually go in the mornings. But there was a point at which I just said, you know what, actually, I would like to lift that much. A, because, well, why not? But B, because I didn't believe I could do it, really, when I started out. And there was also an element of just proving some other people wrong, I suppose, you know, because I'd had injuries where people said, you know, don't do really much heavy lifting, you can't do this exercise, can't do that exercise, can't do the other. And my trainer just kind of took that and really understood what I needed, and just made sure that I had the right support, the right lifting technique, the right core exercises, the right everything. And then obviously nutrition was part of it as well. But it's kind of weird, Jessie. I actually just became a gym person.
Yeah.
And it just continued from there. And then I am a person where if I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Yeah.
And that's because that's really important to me. So I just felt like, you know what? Yeah. And 150 seems to be a good number for me.
And I think, you know, I think the most important learning in that is, you know, for anybody watching is, you know, you don't have to love this thing when you show up to it, right? It doesn't, in fact, you're probably not going to. In fact, you're probably in most days not going to want to do it and maybe even hate it. But it's a relationship that's built over time. And I would imagine, like, you know, we talk about behavioral change and, you know, beliefs, behaviors, and what happens over time, right? With consistency in any behavior, a take the body, mind will follow experience, right? It's like all those little things that you do, from putting on your wrist wraps to lacing up your shoes to putting the gym gear on, it starts to mean something, right? And it starts to shape the identity of, like, for in your case, like I lift weights. In fact, I lift heavy weights. But it's those little bitty micro behaviors that build that idea or that belief that you live with today, right? Like, you're going for 160 kilograms on deadlift. That's incredible. And you're smiling when you hear that. That's incredible. And it's because you are a weightlifter and you are strong and you are confident, and like all of these things come out of that just because you decided to go to the gym.
Exactly.
I love it.
Chelle's physical transformation is incredible. And what I love most is she's looking at strength, physical strength, as a measure of success, being able to push weights. And I think that's transcending into a level of confidence that she has in herself and her abilities in the wider world, not just in the gym. I hope that she's also able to find ways to feel good outside of the gym, right? Looking at those daily behaviors and routines that she engages in as an opportunity to feel good. I think getting to know yourself mentally and emotionally, but also looking at how you have an impact on the people in your world, is key on this journey as well.
So if we looked at Chelle then and Chelle today, what would you say?
Honestly, I feel like a completely different person, because the way I was then, I was very, I just was hiding myself from the world, quite literally. You probably remember the hoodie that I had on. I've just hid myself in hoodies for like a really, really, really long time. And just sort of juxtaposition in the way that I was living, because I was saying, oh yeah, I want to live healthily, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do the other, but actions speak louder than words. So I had to have a real look at myself and think, what is it actually that's driving me, and how do I feel like I want to live my life? So from that point, it's really strange actually, because I had already decided that I was going to wear this particular red dress in 2020 and take myself away on this like massive like sort of fabulous holiday. I was holding on to this dress for like the next day, the perfect event, and this, that, the other. And in the end, I just thought, you know what? No, I'm just going to wear it to this Christmas event that I had. And I just felt so great in it. And I hadn't felt like that in years, and it was at a size that I can't remember being this size since probably I was a teenager. So in my quests in the gym, it's like I've now dropped 5 dress sizes, like 5 UK dress sizes is what I've dropped now.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about success in the different ways that it shows up, and I mean, for a lot of us, we tend to go to the one place that we shouldn't, which is the scale. And
Yeah.
what I love about what you've shared so far is it's shown up in an action like deadlifting. It's shown up in a dress. It's shown up in a feeling. And I think that
And it also showed up, funnily enough, Jessie, about 7 days after I got home from the retreat. I don't know if you know, but basically I had that hoodie for a really long time, the one I was wearing at the retreat. And about 7 days after I came home, I took it to the charity shop. I don't have it anymore.
Wow.
I've only got one hoodie in my life now, and it's a Pavelka hoodie to remind me that I don't need hoodies.
That's amazing.
It's just how it worked.
I love that. It's I'm always reminded of how, when you come to a retreat, right, there's a group of people there and they're sitting there and they're expecting you to gift them some knowledge or an experience that's going to change them. And I'm always reminded of how the knowledge comes from the people showing up that feel as though they need some kind of help or assistance. It's like, actually, it's all there. And so having this conversation with you right now, I'm just like, I feel like I'm in the student seat, and I'm just soaking up a bunch of incredible knowledge and wisdom to be able to put into practice in my own life, because it's not a one and done, right? It's a kind of continuous, perpetual
It's like a
journey.
Yeah.
Transformations happen in a variety of ways, and I think it's important for us to figure out the different ways that we measure success along the way. Numbers on a scale are important, don't get me wrong, but they're not everything. I think the real journey is figuring out how to fall in love with all the other forms of success when we're on a journey of transformation, whether it's weight loss or overcoming some aspect of yourself, a character defect, or just growing into this person that you want to become. I think Chelle has done an incredible job in embracing transformation in a variety of ways, and you see it. But what's about to happen is a clear indication of the real journey that she's been on and how far she's been willing to go.
The smile grows because of him, his mercy and his grace. Feel the spirit and trust in him. Faith takes us to a higher place. He put his power deep within, and now we have to praise him. In all of this, forgiveness is key. This means that we're finally free. In all of this, forgiveness is key. This means that we're finally free.
Wow.
It's a Chelle original. It's called Free.
I love it. I could feel it. And I could feel you feeling it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And that's a big step in a direction that maybe you weren't willing to go a couple of years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Chelle.
You're welcome, Jessie. Have a great evening.